Good afternoon and welcome to NYFP. Today I'm joined by Bobby Heller of OnPoint Executions. Hi Bobby, happy Friday and thanks for joining me.
Happy Friday, Remy. Nice to be here.
Well, in today's trading session, we're seeing U.S. stocks in the red again. Now the Dow Jones Industrial Average is right below the 11,000 level and has been posting a triple-digit loss. Now, after President Barack Obama's speech and given all the fears in the Eurozone, what's your take on what we're seeing?
Well, I think yesterday's run-up had a lot to do with the anticipation of President Obama's speech about his jobs initiative. I think I like the idea of his initiative, but I questioned whether he's really going to be able to get a lot of it passed through Congress. It seems as long as we're cutting taxes, the Republicans are all for it, but if anything else that requires any other kind of work to be done, they're not going to pass it, so I don't give them a great chance at that. So I think some of that is the realization in today's market that it may be a little tougher than we think. But I think also a lot of what's happening in today's market is because of what's happening over in Europe. And that stuff's just not going away. No matter, how many times we talk about it, there's good news from Europe and there's bad news from Europe. But every time we have good news, it's followed again with bad news.
Bobby, we did get a lot of policy talk out from both the Eurozone as well as the U.S. in the previous session, and we're seeing Trichet being less hawkish, obviously. But in terms of the U.S., what do you expect to see out from Bernanke going forward?
Well, he's going to keep rates at zero. We know that. And he came out a couple weeks ago and said for 2 years. I don't think we needed him to say that. Everybody knew that. But I think there will be some slightly more aggressive stimulus, maybe not in the terms of QE2 and 3, but certainly along those lines, maybe not as forcefully. I think he should be working a little closely with the Obama administration, and he should do a little things that are a little more geared towards jobs rather than fighting inflation. I'm not sure exactly what it is that he should be doing. Otherwise, maybe I'd be applying for his job. But I think it's a little disconcerting to hear at some of the debates the other day that if Mitt Romney becomes president, first thing he's going to do is fire Ben Bernanke, and if Mr. Perry becomes president, I think the first thing he's going to do is going to be to beat him up. So, that's kind of a tough environment to work, and I don't think that the Fed chairman should be pressured in that way. He should just let him do his job. He seems to be, he's helped us through this 4-year crisis we're fighting right now pretty well, and he's gotten other countries to go along with him in terms of rate cutting. So I think they'll figure it out. I'd like to see it a little sooner than later, though.
Okay, Bobby, well, now that we've covered the fundamentals as well as Fed policy, let's take a look at the upcoming trading week. What will you be watching?
I'm going to be watching volatility. I think the market's going to stay volatile for quite a while here. Today's 300-point move. Yesterday it was 150. The day before 200. So I don't think we're going to see any of that trading changing anytime soon. The more that these people fight in Congress, I think the worse it is for our markets. The more I see Europe falling apart, in a sense that they can't really seem to get on the same page over there. I think that's worse for our markets as well. I'd like to see the people in Europe trying to think more as Europeans, or hard as that may be for them, rather than thinking of themselves as Germans and Frenchmen and Italians, because we kind of get the feeling they're only interested in the banks that are in their country, and that's not good for markets either. So I'd like to see some of that get under control, and if it does, I think we can settle, get the market back to a normal market. This volatility we have really scares a lot of investors out of it, and I see most of the volume coming from these high-frequency traders, and I don't really think that's adding much value to anybody out there.
Okay, Bobby, well, thank you so much for weighing in on all these topics, and have a great weekend.
Okay, thank you. You too.